Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surabhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Wednesday, the 8th of January. One civilian injured in grenade attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir. US Secretary of State Pompeo accuses Iran of undermining Afghan peace. And molasses industry in Nepal in full swing as season kicks in. And now for all the details. At least one civilian was injured after terrorists hurled a grenade on personnel of paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force in Srinagar city of India's Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday afternoon. Following the attack, the security forces cordoned off the area and launched a search operation. Reports suggest that the grenade, which was lobbed at the security personnel, missed the target and exploded nearby. This comes days after terrorists had hurled a grenade on CRPF personnel in Kodara Chowk in Srinagar, where a transformer was installed. People across India on Wednesday welcomed the issuance of death warrants by a Delhi court against the 4 convicts in the 2012 Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. Nirbhaya, 23-year-old physiotherapy intern, was raped in a moving bus by 6 people in 2012. The brutality of the crime had jolted the nation's collective consciousness. Indians across the country welcomed court's ruling in the 2012 Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case on Wednesday after a Delhi court issued death warrant against the 4 convicts. The 4 men were convicted in 2013 of brutal rape, torture and murder of the 23-year-old physiotherapy student in a moving bus in the Indian capital, New Delhi, a case that triggered huge protests in the country. In 2017, India's Supreme Court had upheld death sentences against the 4 men. In the last 2 years, the top court dismissed review pleas filed by the convicts, paving the way for the execution. The convicts will be hanged on January 22nd at 7 a.m.
नहीं वो अच्छा जजमेंट है, देश के लिए भी अच्छा है, दूसरा भी कोई भी इसके करेगा तो उसको लिए एक सबूत के है, ऐसा दूसरा नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए वो कदम बड़ा अच्छा है.
Actually, I feel it's a very good decision they have took. Maybe they would have took it much more earlier. It would be very helpful for the people who are already doing rapes, and it would be stopped. It wouldn't take 7 years. Within the 7 years, there's so many other cases which has happened, but still they have not got any justice.
The brutality of the crime in 2012 had jolted the nation's collective consciousness, prompting angry street protests. The case prompted India to enact tough new laws against sexual violence, including the death penalty for rape in some cases. But implementation has been poor and the attacks have shown no signs of let up. In news from Pakistan, an accountability court has fixed 22nd January to indict Pakistan's former president Asif Ali Zardari and his sister Faryal Talpur in Park Lane reference, an offshoot of fake bank accounts case against them.
An accountability court has fixed 22nd January for indictment of Pakistan's former president Asif Ali Zardari, his sister Faryal Talpur and others accused in the Park Lane reference against them. During the Tuesday's proceedings in the fake bank accounts and Park Lane reference cases, Faryal Talpur appeared before the court, while Pakistan People's Party co-chairman Zardari was exempted from appearance on medical grounds. An investigation officer of the National Accountability Bureau told the court that 9 more suspects had been included in the supplementary reference of mega money laundering case, while 5 persons had been removed from the list. The court adjourned further hearing till January 22nd with a directive for the prosecution to ensure the presence of all accused persons to enable the court to frame charges against them.
With the ongoing winter, the natural gas crisis has worsened in Pakistan's Karachi and also hit CNG sector. The CNG outage and closure of CNG stations have added to the misery of the people in the city, making it hard for them to carry on with everyday course.
The natural gas crisis has worsened in Pakistan's Karachi city, with residents complaining that shortage of gas has affected their businesses and everyday lives. The CNG sector, that has also been hit by the crisis, has led to the closure of CNG stations for several days now. The CNG outage has added to the misery of the city's people as public transport systems remain suspended, domestic stoves out of gas and inflation continuing to rise. Rickshaw and taxi drivers relying on CNG said that they have started using petrol, which is expensive compared to CNG, and making a profit for their daily expenses has become difficult. Locals demanded government's intervention and make it possible to supply uninterrupted gas.
मैं खुद रिक्शा ड्राइवर चलाता हूँ, ठीक है। अब मुझे एक हफ्ते से परेशानी है, पेट्रोल में वारा नहीं आता हम लोगों को, ठीक है ना। अब जो जिस घर का 5 खाने वाला हो, 1 कमाने वाला हो, वो कितना परेशान रहेगा। गवर्नमेंट को ये एहसास नहीं है, सीएनजी वालों को ये एहसास नहीं है, इंतज़ामियों को एहसास नहीं है कि हम गरीब आदमी जो मेहनत से कमाते हैं, अगर वो चीज़ हमारी बंद हो जाएगी सीएनजी, हम किस तरह कमाएंगे।
यार परेशानी तो लोगों को काफ़ी है, और ये तो सीएनजी स्टेशन बंद है, घरों में भी गैस की बड़ी परेशानी है। पूरे इलाके में पहले अच्छी तरह गैस आती थी, अब पिछले कुछ अरसे से बड़ा परेशान हो रहे हैं लोग। तो बस इस परेशानी को दूर करें, जितना जल्दी हो सके गवर्नमेंट से रिक्वेस्ट है, और इस मसले को हल करवाएं, सीएनजी स्टेशन खुलवाएं ताकि लोगों की परेशानियाँ दूर हों।
Residents claimed that the government was demonstrating lack of interest in controlling gas shortage all over the country.
Moving on, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has accused Iran for undermining the Afghan peace process. He blamed the Iranian government has links with militant groups in Afghanistan.
The US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Tuesday blamed Iran for undermining the Afghan peace process and said the Iranian government has links with militant groups in Afghanistan. Pompeo, while speaking at a State Department news conference, said Iran has refused to join the regional and international consensus for peace. He said that the Taliban's entanglement in Iran's dirty work will only harm the Afghanistan peace process.
In Afghanistan, there's an aspect of that conflict that deserves more attention, and that is the Islamic Republic of Iran's involvement there. Iran has refused to join the regional and international consensus for peace and is, in fact, today, actively working to undermine the peace process by continuing its long global efforts to support militant groups there.
Pompeo thanked the outgoing US Ambassador John Bass for his 2-year mission in Afghanistan. He said that Bass has helped Afghanistan move forward to have brighter, more peaceful and more secure future for all the Afghan people. The departure of Bass comes as the US is again trying to negotiate a tentative peace agreement with the Taliban that could withdraw American forces from Afghanistan in exchange for reduced violence.
In news from Nepal, molasses chaku, a Nepali candy, is usually prepared and consumed during the Marga Sankranti festival and throughout winter by the Nepalese people. As the season kicks in, the aroma of boiling stacks of sugar lumps fill the ancient city of Toka inside Kathmandu Valley.
Nepal will on January 15 observe the Marga Sankranti festival, marking the end of the dark days of winter. Molasses chaku, a Nepali candy, is usually prepared and consumed during the Marga Sankranti festival and throughout winter by the Nepalese. As the season kicks in, the aroma of boiling stacks of sugar lumps fill the ancient city of Toka inside Kathmandu Valley. Anish Maharjan and his family members are busy preparing molasses since mid-November last year with the start of winter and the arrival of Marga Sankranti.
10 बोरा हामीले दैनिकले बिहानदेखि बेलुकासम्म 10 बोरा जति बनाउँछौं। कहिले घटी 9 बोरा 8 बोरा नि हुन सक्छ, कहिले 11 बोरा बढी नि हुन सक्छ हैन। त्यसमा हामीले लगभग दिनको 500 केजी जति बनाउँछौं। त्यसमा चाहिँ अब बिक्री भन्दाले अब दाइहरु हुनुहुन्छ 3 जना मार्केटिङको सम्हालिरहनु भएको। अब दाइहरुले लानुहुन्छ मार्केटमा, मार्केटबाट फोन आउँछ, मार्केटमा पुरै दिन हुन्छ।
Chaku is made by boiling the molasses mixture in a large pot and then pouring it out to cool. It is the key to the festival, and with the festival just days away, the demand for chaku has only increased. In the days leading up to the festival, Street vendors in Nepal sell chaku. There is no official statistics or data about the consumption and production of molasses, nor the number of people engaged in this business.
The skyline of India's western Ahmedabad city wore a vibrant look on Tuesday as the 31st International Kite Festival kicked off with flyers from different countries joining the riot of colors. Multicolored kites dotting the sky are enthralling visitors at the annual International Kite Festival in Ahmedabad city of India's western Gujarat province. The week-long event, which was inaugurated on Tuesday by Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, is witnessing ardent participation of kite-flying enthusiasts from over 40 countries. People joined the riot of colors as participants introduced kites of different shapes and sizes and saw the kites flooding the skyline of Ahmedabad.
I feel very good. It's very good atmosphere here. And basically, I'm second time and I love it, yes.
The Kite Festival, like all of India, is full of colour, full of joy, music, dancing. It represents everything that I see in India.
The festival coincides with Uttarayan or Makar Sankranti, which marks the days of the Hindu calendar when winters begin turning to summers. It is the country's largest kite festival, during which the entire city takes to the rooftops. The 7-day event, hosted in Gujarat since 1989, will conclude on January 14th. A mother-son duo in India's Jammu and Kashmir has planted over 3,000 saplings in a bid to save the environment. 85-year-old Jai and her son have been working for the past few years, aiming to turn unused areas in their village into green spaces.
A mother-son duo in Udhampur district of India's Jammu and Kashmir has planted over 3,000 saplings in a bid to save the environment. 85-year-old Jai and her son have been working for the past few years, aiming to turn unused empty spaces green in the area and save the environment from the harm caused due to felling of trees, rising pollution and global warming. Jai's son Khajur Singh, an ex-serviceman, believes that a problem like pollution can be solved only by planting more and more trees.
और मैं मैसेज देना चाहूँगा सर पूरे देश में अपने नौजवानों को कि ऐसे हमारे मेरी इस सोच की तरह ही सब आगे आएँ और जो भी जहाँ पर भी हमें लगता है ये हम बीज वगैरह कलेक्ट करके हम पनीरी तैयार करके उन खाली खेतरों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सर हम उस खेतर में पेड़ पौधे लगाएं ताकि हमारा जो पूरा देश ही हरा भरा रहे और जहाँ पर ताज़ी जो है हमें हवा मिल सके ऑक्सीजन मिल सके अच्छी और हम लोग इस एरिया को जो है सेव कर सकें सर.
इन्होंने अभी 3,000 पौधा जो है वो जहाँ देवता सांकरी के पास और तरह तरह के जगहों पर जहाँ खालिस्तान हमारे जंगल जैसे कट गए हैं तो वहाँ लगाए और इनके माध्यम से मैंने भी अपने घर में अपनी ज़मीन में लगभग 400 पेड़ पौधा जो है अखरोट और एप्पल का लगाया है.
Khajur Singh said when he retired in 2014, the same year, at least 40 people lost their lives in a landslide in a village near their area. The incident led him to take up this cause of protecting the environment through such plantation drives.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter at @SAsia Newsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.